Life, mental illnesses, testicles, apples, love,
politics,
global hunger,
video games,
premature ejaculation,
words of wisdom.
Hello friends, welcome to an episode of I Play Games of Velvet, and welcome to the pilot episode of a new series I'm calling Words of Wisdom. It's a series where you guys can ask me anything whatsoever, and I pretty much have to answer it. There's no getting around it. And I've sent out the message to a few people on the Needs and on Facebook and so on, and I've actually got some questions through, so this should be fun. So, the first question will be from one of my followers, Neil. Hi Neil. He says, how can the situation in Ukraine be resolved? Neil, you're a bastard. I'm not really one for politics. I'm not very good at that kind of stuff, so I don't know what stuff. I'll tell you one thing, actually. I believe it seemed that it started because they outlawed protesting. That's how all of that shit kicked off. So I'm now kind of thinking to myself, well, I mean, I don't know how you can stop that, really. You're kind of screwed. You kind of screwed yourselves over. And understand now that it's got into some voting system where Russia wanted to stay independent or so. There's some part of Ukraine that wants to stay independent, and they're voting to keep independent, and there's like Russian soldiers in there. I'll be honest, I don't know. But when times are tough, I've learned that drinking solves every problem. So what I'd say is they all go find some bar somewhere, drink themselves into a stupor, maybe have sex with each other and wake up the next day and continue their lives as normal. That would be my solution, because that seems to work, you know, the short term working for a lot of my problems, and I tend to forget that I had a problem in the first place. So that's always good. That's my solution there. Thanks, Neil. Thanks for the question, and I hope that's answered it for you. On to the next question. Okay, next question. Why, from Jason, why, no matter how fast, does it always hurt when you fall off a push bike? I'd like Dan to solve this with a practical demonstration as well. Thanks, Jason. Thank you very much for making me do that. Right, okay then, so why does it always hurt? It does always hurt, doesn't it? It's actually quite a painful experience. I think, my theory is, the reason it always hurts is there's always that bar, and I know it's lowered for ladies to ride on, for ladies' bikes, but I actually think it's always because of that bar that sits right below your nutsack where your gooch is. So if you ever were to fall off, there's a high chance you're going to smack your gooch directly onto that bar. And even girls suffer from it, unfortunately, and it's really quite scary. On top of that, generally, as you want a demonstration, I'm going to do one for you now. So, here you go. So, as I was saying, you want a demonstration of me falling from a bike. I don't actually have a push bike. I don't have one, so I've got my exercise bike. That's what I'm going to use. So, why does it hurt at high speed and low speed? So, the only thing I can do is demonstrate. So, I'm going at, say, a slower speed. I hit a car. That kind of hurt. That kind of hurt. It also looked a little bit pathetic, I imagine. But at high speed, go a little bit faster. Here we go. Okay. And then car! Do you think I stubbed my toe on the damn thing? So I don't know how successful that was in demonstrating why it always hurts, but that would generally be, I hope, an example. But yeah, it does always seem to hurt. I think it's also the fact that you're sat down, to be fair. Like, when you fall over standing. When you fall over standing up. That's the statement I was going to make. When you fall over, you kind of fall over from standing up. You can't really sit down and fall over. And when you're on a bike, you're in a sat down position. You are sitting down. So it's kind of weird falling over sitting down. So I guess it's kind of unnatural, and we can't control that falling over process. So we kind of, in the loss of control, we find ourselves hurting ourselves more for falling over sitting down. I'm guessing that's what it is. I'm guessing that's probably, I hope that makes sense, but I guess that's it. Yeah. So yeah, I hope that answers your question, Jason. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. This is from Kyle. This one's from Kyle. So, have you ever come across a game that had a compelling female lead? If so, why? Of course I have. There's loads of games that have compelling female leads. There's tons and tons and tons. The most compelling, I would have to say, would be Noriko from Heavenly Sword. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to go with rather typically perhaps sexist male point of view on this. She's fucking hot. That girl is so fit. She made me hard in my pants throughout the entirety of the game. The whole time playing that game, all I was thinking about was how beautiful she was. I mean, I've got a soft spot for redheads anyway, all the time, all day, every day. But Noriko was just it. She just had it. She was it. She was my dream girl. So that was why. In terms of, I mean, I guess in terms of character and just general presence and so on, I can't think off the top of my head. I'm trying to think about one now. Let me think. I'm sure I'll get one. Let me think. Think. I don't know. I'm sure there are some. I know. In fact, I know for a fact there is one. I know there is one, but I can't think of it right now because I'm too busy thinking about how hot Noriko is. Yeah, I'll come back to that one. Kyle. Sorry, mate. Sorry to let you down there, but I hope that's answered some part of your question anyway. So yeah, that was it. That's kind of that's that answer. Next question from Scott, who's a subscriber of mine. Thanks, Scott. He asks, plot versus gameplay, which is the most important in your opinion? Well, I would have to say gameplay through and through. Because if you think about, I mean, it's quite, I want to say it's an old school thing, not in a hipster kind of way, but it is. If you look into the history of games back when, games are starting out, you didn't actually need a lot of story. You didn't need a lot of plot to get you from A to B. You just needed the game to be fun. And I think that's all that games ever should be, is just entertaining and fun. You shouldn't have to have a story that really pushes a game forward. I mean, it helps, it's great, but if the gameplay's not there, the game itself is dead. It's dead in the water, and I will forever believe that. The games are supposed to be fun. That was the whole point of them being around. That's the whole point of them being designed. It's about fun. And if they're not that, what is the point? What is the point in that? So yeah, I'd say gameplay first. Definitely. Thank you very much, Scott. Thanks for the question. The needs, this is on the needs page. It was from Sarah1990, who basically asked, how's the weather over there? Which is a lovely question. All I want to say to that is, it's getting better, but that's not a good thing to me. I say it's getting better in the sense that it's getting sunnier and everyone's like, oh, the sun's coming out, oh yay! It's still a little chilly at night time, but it's not my time of year, man. Summer is my time of year. The cold and the wet, that's my time of year. That's when I like the weather, because I'm a large guy. And the heat just makes me sweat. That's all it does. I can literally sit and breathe and sweat in summertime. I will get up sweating, get in the shower, clean myself, feel refreshed, get out of the shower and sweat. And I fucking hate it. I can't stand it. At least in in wintertime, sorry. When it's cold, I can wrap up warm and feel cozy and everything's great. But during the summertime, there's no way that I can actually stay cool without taking all my clothes off and being a nuisance to the general public. So, no, fuck summer. I hate the sun, I hate the heat, I can't stand it. I know that's silly because I've got tropical skin tones and whatnot, but I don't care. Give me winter all year round. I want to live in the snow. I'm a big polar bear. Yeah, that's how it is. That's how it is for me. So the weather's getting better, but I fucking hate it. Thank you very much for asking that question, Sarah. That is superb. Oh no, I've missed one. I actually missed one. There is one. It was Greg. Greg sent me a question. I did miss one. Excuse me. So Greg said, I typed one out. He he sent me a message about how he had typed out a question and then his phone failed him. I was going to read the whole message. I didn't want to read that. So, mobile games becoming mainstream, and if you're worried about AAA games becoming a thing of the past with their ballooning cost, I mean, no, I'm not worried about that at all. Mobile phone games will never become mainstream, I don't think. Not in terms of, well, I guess they are really mainstream anyway. They are mainstream, but they'll never overthrow the mighty throne of AAA games. They will never do that. Because of the budget that's involved in AAA games. They've got big costs, but they've also got there's a big budget behind it. I'd say. I don't think the AAA games are really ever going to fail. I mean, if you try to take a look at a franchise like Call of Duty that's been around for a long time and is still going strong and really, really strong, I don't see that going away because of any monetary reasons. I see that sticking around or only going away because it's just got tired, really. That's the only reason I see it going anywhere. So yeah, that would be the only reason I actually see it doing anything, to be honest. Oh, excuse me, I burped. That's regular behaviour from down there. Yeah, so that would be it. I don't think there's any worry about that in my head anyway. So yeah, that'd be it. I hope that's answered your question, Greg. If not, let me know. Okay, and we've got another question here from Joe, who asks, how do you feel about the EU censoring parts of South Park game, even though it's rated 18? Well, it's weird. It is weird. I guess to me it's odd because the Americans have this perception of Europe that it's so very liberal that basically we have kind of tits and sex everywhere, and we live in this world where, you know, it's just all sex, and we don't really play by the rules and all this kind of stuff. Well, that's what it seems to. That's the perception they seem to have of us. So I find it odd that they censored those particular parts of South Park as well. I mean, I'm not offended by it, really. I guess I'm just a little bit upset, because I'm like, hey, I didn't know you thought that way of us. I thought maybe you saw better of us, and I feel bad that that's how you see us. Maybe we should change our image a little bit. But yeah, I'm mildly disappointed, but I'm not overly pissed off. It's not the worst thing in the world to happen. At least we got the game. Jesus, I'd be more pissed off if they just didn't let us have it at all. That'd be quite upsetting. That'd be very upsetting, actually. But yeah, I mean, I'm not that bothered, but it's just like, you know, it always sucks when someone else gets something that you want. But what are you gonna do, eh? What are you gonna do? I guess I'm just jelly, bro. So that's that. But thanks for the question, Joe. Thanks very much. Craig asks, how do you propose the EU structure a future energy policy? I'm trying to play and read this. Craig, you're a bastard. Policy to provide energy security to prevent member states from reliance on Russian gas. Okay, right, while this is paused. How do you propose the EU structure a future energy policy to provide energy security to prevent member states from reliance on Russian gas? Craig, don't ask me another question, okay? Yeah? Cool. I don't know how to bloody answer that. Are you kidding me? I mean, I don't even know where to start with that question. Dude, I'm trying to break it down in my head so that it becomes easier and a little clearer. But I don't know. I don't know. I honestly, that's the answer to that question. I don't know. And, you know, it's better than me sitting here acting like I do know and lying to you. And I'm pretty sure you'd know if I was lying, because I already told you that I don't know how the hell to answer that question. So, yeah. Use guard dogs. There you go. That's how they could do it. Alright? Fantastic. Good. Thanks for the question, Craig. But guys, that's it. That's the first of Words of Wisdom from Dan. Words of Wisdom. I hope you've enjoyed that. Please remember to just send any questions through. Send them through to the Facebook page. That'd be great. And I will only answer questions from this point forward from my subscribers. So you've got to be a subscriber to the channel if you want me to answer your question. Otherwise, well, I'm just going to ignore it, really. That's pretty much going to be it. So subscribe to the channel and leave the question on Facebook. Maybe it'd be helpful. Let me know which subscriber you are. That'd be awesome. And I will see you all in another episode of I Play Games and Film It. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Thanks very much for partaking, all of those of you who did. And I will see you all soon. You take care now. Bye-bye.
Words of Wisdom.